So we went 4 for 4 on the day, making multiple 100% profit returns at the speed of light, buying cheap, far out of the money option contracts, selling deep in the money inside of Team Roar. With that being said, I'm going to be breaking down the overall trades that we ended up making. And then towards the end of this video, I'm going to be providing to you the new levels that I'm planning to trade at heading into the market. Let's get straight into the unique market open price action analysis. So in terms of the game plan for yesterday, it was to buy put options at 534 and 536. 534 was the market open highs. 536 was later on the day highs. Now, with that being said, we did not buy put options on the opening of this 30-minute candlestick, even though this was red, simply because the morning game plan had stated to buy the dips as long as we are holding above 531.52. Now, another reason why we didn't buy put options when this 30-minute candlestick closed red from the 534 level. First of all, that was the lower level for puts. And SPY's oversold. It just dropped 4 points in 30 minutes from market open. I'm in no rush to be buying puts, even if this is bearish in that sense from that overall move, right? But that was not a bearish candlestick. If you looked at the overall trend recently on the 30-minute chart, you could see right here, the SPY ended up having a nice sell-off towards market open, and then it formed this red candlestick in the middle. Just look at how this candlestick looks right here. And then it had a small drop on the opening of the next 30 minute, and then it had a very nice bullish reversal. So if you compared that overall pattern on the 10-day 30-minute chart, you should have been long biased in a sense when the same candlestick ended up closing here towards very key support on the SPY as well. You know, $531 was not a level of interest to be buying those overall put options. You have previous resistance right here aligned with a previous closing price. This previous resistance right here, if it reacts to support, if there's a bullish pattern, it's going to spike right back up for a very nice move to that 534 level. And then you could see when a red bearish 30-minute confirmation forms at that level and it's not too far away from it, you can get it on the opening of the next 30-minute candlestick close to it towards 533. It starts to sell off. And that history repeated in a sense, man. You can see right here, you had this red bearish 30-minute confirmation later into the day. And this was a phenomenal entry where you could have done put options at 534, where the SPY was not oversold. You know, the oversold levels was towards the 531 zone. You could have did put options with the overall pattern right here. This is a red, green, red bearish overall pattern. You do put options at the 534 level on the opening of this one. If you played the level with the bearish pattern, you could have had a phenomenal green day utilizing the game plan. You could see the same exact pattern was here in the pre-market. You had the red, green, red pattern starts to drop, red, green, red starts to drop, right? So with that being said, there was a phenomenal opportunity for those put options. Now, let's get into the overall trades. So in terms of the trade on call options, it was simply focused on the overall game plan along with a bullish pattern. I'm going to be walking you through it. So in terms of Team Roar, we have a real-time options trade alert system. Some of the basics to the unique zero-day options trade alert system that we have is this. The first step is you're going to want to start your positions light enough where if the zero-day option contracts that you're buying, if they expire worthless on a losing trade, it's not going to affect your account. It's not going to be a big loss. In terms of the big winnings are going to come from exclusively adding to winners along with massive percentage gains. So with that being said, for those of you who are starting out with a smaller account, the focus is compounding it percentage-wise, right? It's not to try to make big dollar gains. For those of you who are trading with a larger account, you have the luxury of you could just focus on the dollar gains. You don't have to try to keep on compounding your account, right? So with that being said, you do have to start out somewhere. But in terms of the second step, it is to add exclusively to winners. After a 8 to 10 cent pump, right? So the contracts, they're going to be priced different each time. But in a sense, you could say, you know, after like a 15%, 20% move, you can begin to add to winners. But focus on the cents, man. So 8 to 10 cent pump, you can add exclusively to winners to increase your winnings because we're looking to make big percentage gains. But we are protecting ourselves from going green to red by setting profit stops. You can set your profit stops after a 10 to 15 cent move. So you add to winners first. Then, as you begin to win on your winners that you added, increasing your fucking winning, you set the profit stops. And that's going to, give you a safety net so you do not go green to red on the overall trade while you are increasing your winnings. And as the trade is going in your favor, you can move your profit stop up to continue to protect your profits. So within that trade, after you add it to your winner, you don't see a massive fluctuation in your account if the market turns against you. That's the beauty of moving your profit stops up. Now, in terms of an example, let's say you bought at 30 cents a contract, right? So the premiums, they pumped to 45 cents. You bought at 30 cents. So you're up 50% on the trade. Set a profit stop at 38 cents. That way, you can let the play run while you're protecting your gains. It's going to give you that safety net to ensure that you are not going green to red on the trade. The gains are not yours until you sell. So by default, you should always set profit stops to ensure that you are not going red on a trade that is already green, winning your personal choice. Now, with that being said, in terms of the overall trades, I'm going to get straight into it. So the first trade was on 175 Tesla put options at 59 cents a contract. We bought these put options directly towards market open at 9:34 a.m. In terms of these overall puts, we ended up selling at 72 cents a contract, breaking down the full play, recapping it in real time. Now, this is where the gains got serious. So in terms of the game plan tends to be spot on 100% of the time. So keep in mind, this is a nightly game plan. In terms of the morning, there's going to be new plans. There's going to be new levels. Everything's always changing, right? There's 3 sessions for levels. You have the nightly levels, you have the pre-market levels, and then when the market's open, there's going to be new levels and new setups, right? So in terms of the game plan, this was 100% spot on. It literally got you in call options towards the exact lows. Buy the dips as long as we are holding above 531.52. Look at that level, man. That is such a strong level of interest to be buying call options. Take a look at this, man. You can see right here, 534, that was the key overall level for puts. Look at this. You got a red bearish 30-minute confirmation right here at 534. That was the level that I gave you for puts along 536, right? Now take a look at this. Right here, this trend reversal candlestick, remember this is where we bought call options for nice gains on SPY. This right here is resistance. You got some resistance right here on the SPY on this 30-minute chart at 530.60 to this 531.50 zone. Once we break above that overall resistance and once we hold above that, you have a massive move to the upside to 534.50. That is measuring that overall price action, simply understanding if we are holding above this, 531.50 zone, we're going to have a massive move to the upside in such a short period of time. Look at how quick it happened last time in just one singular hour. We had a massive 30-minute candle right here from 531.50 all the way to 534, man. You got to be able to measure those moves and study that history. It can repeat itself with the right confirmations. Now, with that being said, let's get down to business, man. Take a look at this trade. This was the second win on the day. Let's buy 535 SPY calls for 57 cents. So if you've been watching the video, you guys have been well aware. I've been telling you, capture trends and levels later on into the day. So look at this, man. The game plan already worked. SPY bounced off of the long level. It had a massive move to the upside. We didn't buy call options the first time it hit that level. Remember how I told you we've been liking to wait for overreactions first. We've been liking to let the levels play out, and then later into the day, we play it. So that's what we did in this situation. We ended up buying calls later in the day at 11:27 a.m. Let's buy 535 SPY calls for 57 cents a contract. We ended up exiting those calls at the exact peak. Take a look, man. We have a real-time options trade alert system. Calls are up 31 cents. Very simple. Set the profit stops. 11:54 a.m., we're setting the profit stops. As the trade is working in our favor, we are bringing this profit stops closer. So if the market has a big move against us, we get stopped out for profits. We don't get back a bulk of our gains. If we're up 100% and the contracts go against this 50% drop, we're going to be stopped out for profits much before that 50% drop. We're setting our profit stops, right? Move your profit stops closer. Calls up 68 cents. With that being said, we ended up selling at 12:02 p.m. So we got at 11:27 a.m. and then we got out at 12:02 p.m. breaking down, recapping the full trade. Look at this, man. Who do you know is buying SPY call options at the exact lows and selling at the exact top? Take a look at the overall chain, man. Look at this. Look at this chart. This is the overall move on SPY. These are the contracts. 535 calls. We're having a massive crash to the downside. 11:27 a.m. This is where we bought the calls. Right here. This is where we exited the calls, 12:02 p.m. This chart I'm showing you on this option chart, this is like the exact same trade that we made in last week's vids where we literally bought call options at the exact lows and sold the exact fucking peak. Who do you know is buying cheap, far out of the money option contracts, selling deep in the money for the biggest percentage gains in the market, the lowest risk contracts with a 95% win rate printed at the speed of fucking light, man? Look at that play. That's the best fucking play of the day. Now, with that being said, let's get into the overall recap of the situation. So I'm going to take a look at the 30-minute chart here. We're going to break this down for you. So simply buying call options at the key level. And in terms of that overall trade, so that was made right before this 30-minute candlestick opened. So in terms of the overall trade, man, this is a trend reversal overall move, man. I'm going to walk you through this. So this right here, this red candlestick is very similar to this red candlestick. And then you can see on the next 30 minutes, it had a very nice move to the upside, a very nice move to the upside, right? So that's a reason there, along with you have a nice wick right here, a nice bullish wick right there towards the key level of interest to be buying call options, which is at 536.60. You know, this right here, if we're seeing a bottom wick on the 30-minute chart right here towards this key level where we can have a massive move to the upside, you're going to want to be buying call options, especially if the SPY was just at 536, having a massive move to the downside. Remember, the key level for puts was 536. If we're getting wicks and wicks at the key level for calls, we're buying. And this red 30-minute confirmation looks very similar to the red 30-minute confirmation and open, overreaction to the upside, overreaction to the upside. And then a great opportunity to buy those put options right here. Take a look at this pattern. Red, green, red, market sells off. And that red, green, red pattern was a key level of interest to be buying those put options. And then you have the same pattern right here. Red, green, red. And then when this 30-minute candlestick closes red, same pattern from the market open, history repeating itself. Buy put options on the opening of this 30-minute candlestick. It's aligned with the 534 put level. Sell into the move. The opportunity was there. If you watched the game plan last night and the patterns were there, like I said, you got to look at these 10-day, 30-minute patterns. Typically, you're going to see some sort of patterns and study the extended hours trading session along with the levels and patterns. You're going to see a lot of similarities and a lot of history that's repeating itself to an exact fucking T. So that was the morning overall session inside of Team Roar. In terms of the power hour trading session, I personally went 2 for 2. Giro went 2 for 2 in the morning session. I'm going to be breaking down this for you. So at 1:16 p.m., I ended up buying SPY 535 call options at 44 cents a contract. And then I sold those call options at the speed of light. We got out at 70 cents a contract, man. That was a very nice scalp at the speed of fucking light in 6 minutes. From 44 cents a contract to 70 cents. So why call options towards the opening of the 30-minute candlestick at 1:16 p.m.? So I'm going to walk you through this, man. So if we go to the overall candlestick right here, so 1 p.m., this is the overall candlestick right here. So I was buying call options in the middle of this 30-minute candlestick. The main reason why is, in terms of the game plan, we were towards a key level of interest to be buying call options. The SPY was holding well above the dips. And I was looking at this overall pattern. This was the overall pattern that I was looking at. It had to do with the overall pre-market chart, man. So I'm going to walk you through this. Right here, we have a green candle, we have a green candle, we have another green candle, we have another green candle, we have a red candle, we have a red candle, we have another green candle, we have another green candle, we have that green, red, green, we have that green, red, green, and then we have a nice drop, and then we have a nice drop. So you can see you basically had two big red 30-minute candles, two big red 30-minute candles, and then after that massive red 30-minute candle, the SPY really begins to reverse. So when I noticed that it was closing red and bearish like this, along with this pattern where you have this double green, green, red, green, and then basically two red candles. You could say it's 3 red candles, it is, but history is going to repeat in similar cycles and it's going to look similar in a sense. So I took it as 2 big red candles, 2 big red candles, and then the SPY is going to try to reverse. It's towards key support. You have very nice key support right here towards this 532, and along with the game plan has been a massive help inside of Team Roar in terms of where to get in, especially if you're using the proper confirmations. But the game plan tends to be flawless, man. This works absolutely phenomenal. Very simple. Today is buy the dips as long as we are holding above 531.52, and we're very close to that level. And the SPY was having massive bear traps all day towards that fucking level, along with this pattern that I was seeing with the double green, green, red, green, 2 big red, and then you have the double green, green, red, green, 2 big red, and then it's going to try to reverse and spike back towards the high of these wicks, high of these wicks, high of these wicks, like it's been doing. And it's very likely to bounce at the bottom of this wick, at the bottom of this wick, like it's been doing, forming higher support in a sense, trying to hold that previous closing overall price. Those are the main reasons for buying call options. Like I said, this gets a lot more advanced in terms of the sells. A lot of the sells, some of the sells do have to do with the 1 minute chart. I'm not breaking down the 1 minute chart for you, but a lot of the sells have to do with the 30-minute chart as well. But like I said, this gets a lot more advanced in terms of the style of trading. I'm just giving you some of the overall basics in terms of what it is that I'm looking at, right? So with that being said, that was my personal trade later into the day. You guys know in terms of my own personal trading, I trade best during the power hour session. In terms of the middle of the day, I'll look to make maybe one trade sometimes during the day, but the main focus is to make 1 or 2 trades during the power hour trading session. And then G-Roar, he takes care of the morning trading session. I'm telling you, instead of Team Roar, the morning trading session tends to be green 90% plus at a time, man, making losing a personal choice. And then in terms of the second trade that I had on the day, in terms of my own personal trading, it was on put options. I ended up buying SPY 532 puts at 3:36 p.m. I got in at 36 cents, and then I added at 45 cents, and then I ended up selling at the exact peak on these puts, man. I made it very clear at 3:41 p.m. The plan is to sell quick in the money. I said start trimming as soon as we went in the money, and then I sold at 59 cents at the exact peak on those puts when we went in the money. That was another phenomenal play. So in Team Roar, we went 4 for 4 on the day. In terms of the play for puts, man, that was just more of intuition, man. Can't really say much about it, man. Like I said, in terms of every trade that I make personally, some of the trades that I make cannot be explained in a sense simply because it's just pure intuition. It's just pure heart of cards. And then there's other trades where I'm more technical and I'll try to have the heart of cards and the intuition in my favor as well, try to put it all together. But there's other trades, those are the ones where I can get really hyped about in terms of recapping the trade, right? Because there's like 50 fucking reasons to enter the trade. And I created all these reasons in terms of how I see the market with my third eye, right? On how I enter these trades. Those are the trades where I tend to be a lot more passionate about, in terms of breaking them down and even trading in a sense at times, because it gives you a lot of confidence to have all these confirmations in your favor. But I'm telling you, man, there's nothing in this market compared to trading with intuition, man. In terms of trading intuition and having the heart of cards, one thing where it's helped me out a lot is holding the trades longer. When you have an intuition in this market, it becomes very, very easier to hold the trades longer. But the vast majority of my trades in terms of entries, they do tend to be technical reasons, In terms of intuition, I could see a trade being made off of intuition if the market is extremely volatile. If we're having a quick volatile move, and then those can be the ones that are a little bit tougher to try to follow in a sense if you are trying to follow the overall trade. But in terms of my experience, a trade purely based off of intuition, it can be a lot more easier when the market is extremely volatile towards certain levels, and then you take advantage of that quick reversal, of that quick candlestick, of that quick momentum within the market. Like all of a sudden, you're like, wow, the market's just been sitting here chopping around for like 30 minutes, an hour straight, not doing much. And then all of a sudden you have this big move. And then when you have intuition kicking on that big momentum move, that's where it can become very real in terms of an entry on intuition. But yeah, man, like I said, the vast majority of my trades in terms of the entries are technical based in terms of the overall entries, man. Jumping in on momentum, it could be a little bit fearful with the lack of confirmations, right? But like I said, if you have that intuition and you're trading with intuition, it can become very simple and easy in a sense. For me personally, it has helped me tremendously to hold the trades for longer periods of times. It makes it so easier to hold. It gives you all the fucking confidence in the world. And then you feel very secure holding your trades when you're not risking a lot. And then, you're not risking a lot. So how are you going to make some decent money? Well, you can add to the winners early on into the win. And then you could set the profit stop, securing the win that you just added to, right? Because when we do tend to add to winners, the winning tends to be very, very, very big. When we're playing for 100% plus profit returns and we're adding, when we're up like 15%, 20%, that's a massive move in our favor. And when we do add to winners, it tends to be a quick move in our favor. Those are the best ones when we have a quick momentum move in our overall favor. So with that being said, man, those were the overall trades inside of Team Roar. Now, I want to get into the levels. In terms of the levels that I'm going to be personally looking at tomorrow. The market right now, it's a little stagnant. You can see right here, we got resistance on the 30-minute. We break above. We drop back down to the previous resistance, react to support. We got new resistance on the 30-minute right here at 531. We break out, drop back down, turns into support, continues to break out. And then we got new resistance right here on the 30-minute. This chop towards 533 has a breakout, goes to 536, that level where I told you to buy put options, drops back down. Previous resistance trying to react to support. You can see a similar pattern right here is trying to appear right here. Plus, I do believe during extended hours trading session, we are gapping up. Let me take a look at that. So we are having a small gap up to the upside. If you look at the overall 30-minute chart right now, what appears to be happening is something like this, where we are turning a previous resistance right here. Some of you could say, well, oh, previous resistance was right here at 534.50. Well, focus on the overall chop and consolidation. You had chop and consolidation right here at 532, and then you had a breakout, drops back down, previous resistance reacts to support. We didn't really get much of that chop or consolidation when we broke above this level. So I'm going with this like 533. This 533 is make or break, man. We had a breakout above it, which is bullish. We dropped back down and we held above it, which is bullish. And if you just look at the 30-minute chart, you can see it looks very similar to what is going on, where this previous resistance on the 30-minute is reacting as support. So in terms of where we are at, in terms of the micro of this channel, because in terms of the videos that I've been making with this nightly analysis, the main focus has been day trading. These levels I give you, the main focus has truly been overall day trading. You can get more advanced in swing trade if you use the daily candlestick trading strategy that I've created. But our main focus is day trading at these overall levels, man. It gets very advanced in terms of the systems that we've created, but this is just to help point you in the overall direction and key levels of interest along with the 30-minute chart to use to make money with these overall plans, along with understanding the unique price action moves of the market, right? So in terms of the SPY, it's trying to turn previous resistance into support. Right here, you have this resistance at 533, and we went all the way to 536 almost. Drop back down. It's trying to react to support. It's trying to form these pins, right? So it's trying to maintain bullish. Now, what would flip the SPY bearish? What would truly flip the SPY bearish is if we cracked under bottom wick support. So in order for the bears to gain some control, they need to turn the previous closing price, 533.27, that needs to turn into a resistance level. And then in terms of where they need to crack the support and then spike back up to that previous support, react as a resistance, red bearish 30-minute confirmation, 532. So that's your overall zone, man. You can even go at 531.50. We'll call it 531.50. So 533, for the bears to be in complete control, it needs to stay under 533. For the bears to take full fucking control for a nice breakdown of support move, we need to drop under 531.50, red bearish 30-minute confirmation. So for those of you who like buying put options, shorting into support, look for a red bearish 30-minute confirmation crack into that 531.50 level. That will help maintain the bears to be in complete control. If they can't do that, then they're simply trying to maintain some control, staying under 533. Now, for the bulls to maintain in control, very simple. They need to hold above 531.50. They need to turn 533 into support. But as long as we are maintaining above 533, the next level we're going to is 536. And then the next level above 536 is going to be this level, 537. This is what we call a gap breakout. This is a trading strategy that I've created. In terms of the gap breakout, you find a stock that gaps down. Once it closes on the day from where it gapped down, you take the high of day. So right here, SPY ended up gapping down. The high of day is at 537. So if it breaks above 537, there is no resistance. So a gap breakout is a special breakout where it starts to break out because there's no resistance and it fills the gap. Similar to an all-time high breakout, except for all-time high breakouts, there's no gap that's waiting to fill above. Eventually, SPY is going to want to try to fill the gaps. So if you have a bullish confirmation at a gap breakout level, that's your confirmation to ride it up for a breakout to fill the gap. No resistance, bullish confirmation, resistance turns into support, explode up to fill the gap at 543, right? So those are your overall levels. Now, this is what I'm going to say, right? So the 534 level worked out very well. The 536 level worked out very well. So in terms of, the nightly analysis, trying to provide to you the best levels possible to be trading at, the levels already worked. So I want you to ease back on the brakes a little bit in terms of the puts. I want you to focus on the best level possible, 539.50. So in terms of 539.50, this is a recent strategy that played out in the SPY. You can see right here, the SPY had a gap down from 533, and then you can see right here, SPY had a gap down from 543. Once the SPY went back up to that previous support close to the gap, so you had support right here. This is the day it gapped down. You take towards the lows. You have support right here at 529, support right here at 529. This was a key level of interest where we're planning to do put options. You have a red bearish 30-minute confirmation. Once it tests that previous support, this is where all the bulls got trapped. Once it spikes back up, it's likely going to react as a resistance because this dropped from 529 all the way to 510. If it rockets straight back up to an overreaction to the downside, it's likely going to drop first with a red bearish 30-minute confirmation. So use that same overall trading strategy. If we start to get a quick move up to the lows of this downside move right here towards this 539.80, 540 level, you can buy put options. And then your true best level is the gap close reversal. We've been waiting to buy put options at 543. You're going to want to use the red bearish 30-minute confirmation, the trend reversal 30-minute confirmation, right? So those are going to be the high levels of interest for put options, 540 and 543. Now, this 537, this is make or break gap resistance. We've already been crashing from 536, so it's going to be a lot more challenging, folks. So just remember, man, if we're maintaining above 533, SPY is going to start to go bullish. It's going to start to spike towards this 536 level. And then if we break above that 536, react to support, we're going to go to 540. If 537 maintains as a resistance, we go to 533. For the bears to be in complete full control, they need to go under 531.50. If we go under 531.50, the next level that the SPY is going to drop to is going to be right here. It's going to be towards this 528 to 526.60 zone, right? That'd be the breakdown level. So that's the overall game plan. And then in terms of future levels, we've been waiting to buy call options at 518.70. We've been waiting to buy call options at 517.50 for some gap close reversals. SPY has recently been partially reversing at the gaps. Another reason to strongly consider puts once we get to 540 if you're seeing the red bearish 30-minute confirmations, man. So in terms of the morning, like I said, man, there was no reason to buy put options when this candlestick closed red, because just because the candlestick closes red, that doesn't mean you buy put options. Plus, it's oversold, man. This went from 534 to 531 in 30 minutes. We're not just going to jump into puts, even if it is a red bearish 30-minute confirmation in a sense. Focus on the confirmations towards the levels, but this is just a great situation where it spikes up to 536. And then you got this red bearish confirmation right here towards this 534 level. Buy puts on the opening with the strategy, the red, green, red, everything it is that I taught you. If you would have waited, and if you've also been aware as well, the game plan was to literally buy call options at 531.50. But also, like I said, man, this red candlestick was actually a bullish reversal candlestick. So when these candlesticks are closing and you're looking at confirmations, I would strongly encourage you to look at the 10-day, 30-minute chart. Also look at the extended hours. Look for unique patterns. You're trying to break through the matrix within this market. And in order to break through the matrix, you have to have your third eye open. And you have to have your third eye open, and you have to be conscious and aware as the market's open. You have to be able to capture these trends in real time. You have to be able to look for these overall moves, man. This right here, that's a massive bear trap. 531 to 536. We were just at 531. If there's a red bearish 30-minute confirmation right here at our 534 level, along with a red, green, red bearish pattern, why the fuck wouldn't you want to not buy puts if it's at the level, man? This is a great confirmation to buy put options at the opening of this overall candle. So, for those of you who are serious about printing with us at the speed of light, what it is that we've mastered is trading 0-to-8 options. We buy cheap, far, low-risk out-of-money option contracts. We sell them deep in the money for the biggest percentage gains within the market. In terms of the system that we've created, this is not just buy and sell alerts. This is an advanced system. We start light, and what we're doing is we're setting profit stops. We add exclusively to winners. We set our profit stops. We get stopped out for fucking profits to ensure that we do not go green to red on a trade, losing a choice when you are up, and then you're adding to those wins and one small move in your favor, increasing your fucking winnings, and then moving to stop at profit loss, maintaining bigger gains while losing a personal choice. That is what we are doing inside of Team Roar. We have the highest win rate in the game doing this. If you do want to trade with us, it is the first link down below within the description. You will get access to the morning game plan, providing you with new levels. So the morning game plan, it's going to provide you with some new levels of interest as well, to be going long and to be going short, right? And it's going to prepare you to trade at the overall best levels possible. I'm telling you, the morning game plan is fucking flawless. And you get access to the real-time zero-day options trading alert system that we have, man. All of the real-time trading alerts. So G-Roar's main focus has been the overall morning trades in the middle of the day. My main focus has been that power hour trading session. That's when I tend to trade best, is during the power hour trading session. You guys know I've always been the one to capture trends. And one of the best ways that I've found to capture trends on options, the safest way I found it to be, is to wait until the power hour. Because we're buying zero-day options. They're getting ready to expire when the market closes. If you're buying options on SPY, you can hold those till 4:15 p.m. There could be a play up until 15 minutes till after hours extended hour session. But the main reason why I like power hours so much is I've noticed massive success on a trade when you capture a reversal later into the day. We can have a level for a reversal and be the first one to capture it, like at the gap. If there's a reversal at the gap, we can be the first ones to capture that gap close reversal. But if it actually reverses at the gap, and then later on the day it has a massive spike back up, then it drops back down to previous resistance, and there's a confirmation that's going to react to support, that's a continuation. That's going to have a gap close reversal. Capture the trends later in the day. Make more money. Make bigger percentage gains, risking less during the power hour trading session. The contracts are so fucking decayed. They're so cheap. They're getting ready to expire worthless. But which contracts are getting ready to expire deep in the money? Right before the market closes? Which ones are going to be? Are you going to have the strike? Are you going to time the trade perfectly? We have the system. We know the times to get in. We know the confirmations to look for. And by trading this way, you can be the last person to capture the trend, and you can outperform anyone. You could trade SPX, run up fucking 1,000% in 20 minutes. You could trade SPY, run up 1,000% in fucking 20 minutes. There's a crazy play on SPY calls today, man. I was close to playing this, but we were already 4 for 4 on a team, man. I get it. Like, we can win non-fucking stop, and we can really push it to the fucking limit, but there does get to a point where you just have to call it for the day, unless you just want to take a small fucking risk and really try to push yourself to the ultimate limit. But part of it as well is just having the ego where you want to have the highest percentage win rate, where you don't have to keep on going, but you shouldn't feel the need to keep on going. But some people just want to show that they're the fucking best, man. But that's not the best for everyone, right? But you don't have to risk a lot in a sense if you keep on trading. You could take a very small risk. Just make sure you never risk going green to red on an overall trade. Do not risk going green to red on the overall day, especially if you are already green, especially if you have 2 wins in a row. But this right here, these fucking SPY 533 calls, this was a crazy fucking play, man. This right here, and I was close to buying calls. I literally told the team, we have to get out of puts. This is a fight not worth fighting for. As soon as they go in the money, we're out. And they went from 40 cents to 60 cents. That's a very nice quick return during the power hour, man. As soon as we exited those puts, in a couple fucking minutes, these 533 calls that went in the money, they went from 10 cents to 50 fucking cents, man. Fucking 5x at the speed of fucking light. That's fucking crazy, man. Gosh, if we would have bought calls after we got out of those fucking puts, man. Look at this fucking move. This is the beauty of power. Look at this. These calls are sitting here at 10 cents. This is 3 minutes before the market closed. G-Roar, he called out SPX calls at fucking, it was at like 100 to 400 on Friday. And that was at 3:57 p.m. The same fucking play happened again. 3:57 p.m. This was on SPY calls. They went from 10 cents to fucking 50. And during extended hours, they had a nice little pump to 50 fucking 5. So yeah, man, look. For those of you who are serious about trading, with the ones who've mastered this, The Chosen, it's the first link down below within the description. You will get access to our secure private organization. You will gain access to the morning game plans. You will gain access to the real-time options trading alerts. There's multiple trades on the day. And you will gain access to the options trading alert system. We will tell you when to set the profit stops. And another reason why we do not use stop losses, it's not just because, so in terms of the contracts, they're so cheap, they're so low risk, low barrier to entry, right? Great for small accounts too. But we do not use stop losses simply because, not just because they're very cheap and low risk, and what we're putting in is the most we're going to risk on the trade, right? Like a max risk per trade. That's not the only reason. Another reason is you can hold them the entire day. If the contract shot 50, 60, 70, 80%, we hold them, we let them expire worthless. And in my experience, 70% of the time, they come back to life and they go in the money. So if they come back to life and go in the money, that's likely going to be a nice green trade. Just down 50, 60, 70%. Oh, now all of a sudden I'm up 50%, 70%. They came back to the money. They came back to life, man. It happens all the time. I see it happen especially during power hour. It happens all the time. You get these massive moves during the power hour where contracts come back to life. You could be down 50, 60, 70% during power hour. All of a sudden, you're up 200% at the speed of fucking light, man. So that's another reason as well in terms of this system. It prevents us from fucking losing because we have the whole entire day for the contracts to go in the money. But like I said, man, we're maintaining a 90% plus fucking win rate. We're printing it at the speed of fucking light. If you want to buy cheap, far out of the money option contracts that are extremely low risk, and you want to try trading with this system with us, it's the first link down below. With the description, you can start trading with us at the speed of fucking light. I'm telling you, we're going to have a phenomenal week, folks. I will see you tomorrow within the chat.